have no idea how long I've waited to meet you, dear. Huh. You look just how I imagined you. Positively glowing and radiant. Let's get a good look at you. Oh, and your hair is lovely. Looks as though the mender did a fine job cleaning away the old world, didn't she? I expect you have a great many questions for me, don't you? That's what I thought. But first, I've had them prepare a nice pot of dandelion tea for us. Would you like a nice warm cup of tea, dear? How do you take your tea? That's just how I like it myself. Here you are. Please do have a seat. Get comfortable. I'm sure that your journey here has been an altogether remarkable one, but long all the same, I suppose. Yes. Well, how do you feel? Well, I can assure you that no one here within my little inner circle means you any kind of harm. In fact, we've been expecting you for quite a while, and I've looked forward to this day for as long as I can remember. I suppose you want to hear a bit about the story of Aramanthius itself and why you're here. Am I correct? Well, I have been the reigning queen of Aramanthius for roughly 3 centuries. Give or take a few years, of course. My memory has grown a bit hazy over the decades. Everyone that is born into this realm enters into it with a particular gift. It is my destiny to lead my people. And aside from that, I have what shall we say, a unique talent for attracting wild creatures of all varieties, particularly those with wings, as you can tell from my dress of monarchs. They are my favorite, such loyal subjects. But as I said, we each have our own gift, our own fate, and our own path that we must walk, and that path, for the most part, is chosen for us, even before we are born. On the day of birth, a ceremony is held, at which the child is given a title that they will grow into. so to speak. For instance, you met the Wanderling earlier. From the day she was born, we knew that she was destined to be a guide here in our realm, to help wayfaring strangers, to show the lost creatures the way. And the Mender, she was born to help individuals such as yourself cleanse away things that might be shall we say, blocking their view. She cleansed away the remnants of the old world from you, so that you could open your heart, mind, and soul to the sights and sounds of Aramanthius, you see. I suppose you're wondering how you fit into all of this. Well, you see, every now and again, a soul is born into the wrong realm, for one reason or another. They are veered off course and do not end up in the world for which they were destined to be in. Does that make sense, dear? Let me explain just a bit more. I suppose the best way to illustrate my point, as it is a very abstract point, mind you, is by telling you about the Garden of Origins that lies within the western area of our realm. I'm assuming your journey will bring you there at some point, but for the moment, I will just reveal to you that each of the blooms within that garden are far from ordinary. In fact, each bloom represents a person that is within our realm. Each of the blooms represents a soul that is born, an Aramanthian soul. Do you see? For the past number of years, we have been able to account for every single bloom that grows within that garden, save for one. And that particular bloom, we do believe, for a variety of reasons, is your bloom, dear. You have a purpose, a very unique destiny. And I have a bit of an inkling what that destiny is. But tomorrow, you will participate in a bit of a ritual that will confirm my suspicions or turn them upside down altogether. Of course, your participation is completely voluntary, but I do recommend you do go through with it, as it will most likely shed an immense amount of light upon your destiny and the path that has been chosen for you, my dear. We've been watching you for quite some time, you see. We searched for you far and wide, thinking that you may have simply been born in a far corner of our world, or possibly in another realm that is parallel to ours. But we could not find you. And I must admit, it was rather frustrating to say the least. But finally, we found you in the realm that you call Earth. We sent over a few people throughout the years to place tests in your path and challenges that you would have to overcome to see if you were able to rise to the challenge, so to speak. And at every turn, every obstacle that was placed in front of you, every hurdle that you had to jump over, you passed with flying colors, which is a distinction that you and you alone hold. You were misguided at times and thought that others might hold your place, but no, it was only you who were able to prove yourself to be a true Aramanthian. I know this must all come as a bit of a shock. I know that if someone were to tell me that I was born into the wrong world, I would be altogether flabbergasted. But I am so excited for you, dear. So excited for the journey that awaits you. I'm overjoyed that I finally have the chance to meet you. Tomorrow, you will be able to see who you really are. You will finally receive your title, and the gifts that were your birthright will finally be bestowed upon you. I do suggest you get plenty of rest this evening. It may be a long day tomorrow, and you need to have all of your wits about you so that we can make a full assessment of your true powers, abilities, and be able to help you transition into your new role. Do you have any questions for me, dear? I'd imagine you have quite a few. I thought you might ask me about why I had a particular title in mind for you. I had a particular suspicion, that is. I don't want to give too much away today for the simple fact that I might be altogether wrong about it. After all, in my 300-odd years of service to my kingdom, I have been known to be mistaken on one or two occasions. What I can tell you is that when a person who possesses a particular title leaves our realm, and passes on. That very day, a new sprout rises up from the earth at the Garden of Origins. So we know that, more often than not, that is, the child who possesses that sprout will be the new holder of that title. On the day that your sprout sprang up from the ground, her bloom withered and died, a bloom that belonged to one of my dearest and closest friends. She had a gift that was superb in every way, and she had dedicated her life to fine-tuning her craft. She made it an art form of sorts. When I look into your eyes, dear, I could see a little bit of her in you. You possess that same spark, that same experience and wisdom and creativity. So, I believe you were intended to fill her role, to assume the title which she elegantly and passionately carried for hundreds of years. Tomorrow we'll see if I'm correct or not. I can see that you're a bit tired, dear. So I'll let you retire to your chambers now so that you can get plenty of rest. Please feel free to let the attendant know if you need absolutely anything. I want you to be comfortable while you're here. I'm sure you can assume that it was my deepest pleasure to meet you today. I look forward to seeing you at the ritual, where we'll find out